Hi everyone, we are Group 5. Our group has 4 members, Khánh Linh, Hải Yến, Hà Trang, and Phương Trà. Today we will watch about joint venture and wholly owned subsidiary. Let's watch the video.
In a typical joint venture, two or more businesses agree to contribute capital and resources for a common project. For example, in the oil industry, developers, drilling companies, and service providers could agree to form a joint venture to drill an oil well. If the oil well is successful, those parties split the profit based on the value of their respective contributions to the joint venture. Most often, especially among sophisticated corporations, the joint venture is governed by a joint venture agreement. The agreement delineates specifics, how much each party will contribute, and how the proceeds, if any, will be divided. One important U.S. federal tax consideration is that some joint ventures are not considered a taxable entity. This is specifically the case for joint ventures set up to merely share expenses, like a research and development joint venture. This means the joint venture does not have to obtain a federal employment identification number or file annual tax returns. Finally, joint ventures are common in countries like India and China where foreign ownership is difficult or even prohibited. A foreign company that wants to establish a business in India or China can form a joint venture with a domestic company, bringing in outside technology and resources while utilizing the Indian or Chinese company's established relationships and government licenses, which are normally difficult for a foreign company to. A wholly owned subsidiary is a company whose common stock is 100% owned by another company. When a company owns less than 50% of another company, it holds a minority interest in that company. Let's say National Lighting owns 25% of one company, 70% of another, and 100% of a third. The first is a minority interest, the second is a subsidiary, and the third is a wholly owned subsidiary. A subsidiary is a separate, distinct legal entity for tax, regulation, and liability purposes. Corporations also use subsidiaries to manufacture or market different brands of product types owned by the parent company. Owning a minority interest might be enough if a company simply wants preferential access to another company's output. A greater level of ownership is usually required to have access to the company's proprietary technology. With a wholly owned subsidiary, the parent company can control all production, management, and profits, but it also shares costs and responsibilities.